Hey guys, Gary here, and decided to do a video. It's been a while, I know. Now, being part of the community that I'm a part of, neo-pagan community, I guess, or whatever, there seems to be this argument of, ancient equals more authentic. But I actually found an interesting position. I found the other end of the spectrum, whereas modern equals more authentic. And that's an argument that comes from the Baha'is. For those who don't know, Baha'is are an Abrahamic religion. They're sort of like, imagine like really liberal Baptists mixed with Muslims. Like Sufi Muslims. Like, it's a bit strange. It's interesting though, but they have like a new character. Like, you know how Christians have Jesus, Muslims have Muhammad. Well, they have a guy, I think his name is Baha'u'llah, and then they have Abdul Baha, and then they have Shoghi Effendi. So they have like three new characters. You'll love them. They're perfect. They're great. Anyway, so the argument here is that they present is, well, and this is what they've told me. They said, well, Gary, you should practice a more modern faith. And then I'm kind of like, well, I don't really see the point to that. Like, why would I practice a faith based on how new it is? I mean, this just seems a bit hazardous to me because, like, if I just go with any new faith, I could be supporting, a cult. I could be going into a cult, like Scientology, for example, which, by the way, is younger than the Baha'i faith. I'm scratching my leg, if anyone's wondering. I mean, it's newer than the Baha'i faith, so I'm wondering, like, if you're going to say that, then I would say at least be consistent with your beliefs. I mean, the Baha'i faith was founded in 1844, for crying out loud. And Scientology was founded in 1950s. So should we be Baha'i or should we be Scientologists? I mean, if you're going to argue that, then, I mean, it's not a good argument in the first place, and I mean, you just look like a hypocrite when you tell people that in the first place. And I mean, why would I practice the Baha'i faith? I'm a Hermetic. There is no relevance there. We are part of two completely different religious branches. Yours being the Abrahamic branch and mine being, I guess, the pagan branch? I don't know. But I mean, at least, like, if I'm gonna go be modern, like, I would at least be something that's relevant to my path. Like Wicca, or say, Thelema, or even the Temple of Set. The Temple of Set was founded in 1975, and they're Hermetic. Should I go be them? I mean, they're newer than you guys. What about Falun Gong? I mean, that's Buddhist though. I mean, they're sort of like you guys, but like on the like Buddhist tree. See, you really aren't. Like, it's clearly obvious what you're doing here. You're attempting to proselytize, and you're doing a piss poor job at it. I mean, the last missionaries you sent up here, well, they told me that, and I just said, I'm Wiccan, guys. Aren't you proud of me? But anyway, in all seriousness, I mean, just because a faith is modern does not necessarily mean it speaks to the modern era. I mean, if your faith is proposing homophobia, even to a certain degree ethnocentrism, which is pretty much putting your values upon others, which is, spending my time with some Baha'is, you kind of feel like that. You kind of feel like they're sort of putting their values upon you. Like this, there's this, well, Gary, you should read, Shoghi Effendi. And, you should, read this book, because it'll give you all the answers you need. Like, this is clearly a very subtle form of proselytizing. And it's clearly obvious that nobody really believes this sort of idea of following the most modern faith. Not even Baha'is believe it. I mean, they're practicing a faith from 1844. So, I mean, what is one to practice? What is acceptable to these people? What exactly should one be following? Your faith? Well, the thing is, there have been many other faiths that have sprung up since the time your faith was created, like Thelema, Wicca, Scientology, Falun Gong, which was founded in 1990, a whole boatload of them. You know, obviously they're all differing and disagreeing with each other. And frankly, like, just because a faith is old doesn't mean it doesn't speak for the modern times. I mean, if you're going to tell me the four cardinal virtues, temperance, wisdom, courage, justice, if you're telling me these are somehow out of date, you know, I don't know what you're talking about. You know, it's really, you really haven't said anything new. You really haven't. In fact, you're just saying the same shit that the Christians, the Muslims, and the Jews have said for thousands of years. You know, just because you're modern does not mean anyone should follow you. As a matter of fact, the fact that you're boasting that kind of proves that nobody should follow you. I mean, especially if you're proposing, you know, homophobic and ethnocentric ideas. You know, and I'm just pretty much just rambling here, which is what I was doing in the first place. So, I'll see you guys later. Gary signing off.